this maze, but I could love you forever if you'd meet my gaze.
Would you believe it? I thought I had everything prepped for stream, and then I transition across to this screen, and I notice I forgot to turn off the fucking skeletons because they don't render in my preview stream. Give me a second. Give me a second. As much as I would like to keep the skeletons, we are not keeping skeletons for Ghost of Tsushima. There will be no spooky dudes. Where are the skeletons? Okay, hang on a second. Okay, there. No more skeletons. Alright, welcome in. It's Monday. We're going to be playing Ghost of Tsushima. I have been looking forward to this game for a while. I was very excited when it came out on PlayStation. Thing is, I don't own a PlayStation. I wasn't willing to buy a PlayStation. So I'd kind of been sitting here for like, what, 3 years at this point, being like, please, onegaishimasu. Port of Ghost of Tsushima. Give port for PC, and they have. And so I'm a hook right in. I'm a study the blade. I'm a have a great time, because I love me some Kurosawa films. I also love me some just studying of the blade. Before we get going, I have some apologies. Your boy has a confession to make. Your boy must confess his shame, his wrongdoing, his transgressions. So first off, if you were here on Friday, also this is actually a pretty good position because it looks like I have a sword on my back. Anyway, if you were here on Friday and you watched Monster Camp, yeah, two things, Mike, two things.
But am I not?
God forbid a turtle has hobbies. Thank you for the 8 months, Mike, of being a menace. First thing, that is not the second thing. Yeah, get the fuck out, Mike. Be gone. Be gone. Anyway, two things, right? Two things. So if you're here on Friday for Monster Camp, you may have noticed that the stream was a little bit quiet. That in between, like when we were talking, there was kind of a bit of a lull. Your boy is fucking smooth-brained as fuck, right? Your boy is a fucking idiot. I did not realize that I had never streamed Monster Camp before. I had streamed Monster Prom, but not Monster Camp, right? And the way I have my audio set up, I use an extension where I have to register every program with OBS for it to collect audio. And the upside is it means that whenever I just start streaming, if I just turn that game on, it automatically starts picking up audio for that, so I don't have to set it up every damn time. But it means if I don't do it the first time, I never do it, sort of thing, right? So I'd done it for Monster Prom, but I hadn't done it for Monster Camp, completely forgot. So I was looking at clips and stuff from the VOD, and was like, why the fuck is it all so quiet? And then it hit me. I realized, fuck, I did not set up the audio for it. So if you were feeling a little bit bored in between on that game, yeah, that's my fault. And apologies to Sin and Maddie and Liz for my shit audio tech for what was otherwise a really fun stream. I've already told Sin, and she got a fucking laugh out of it, so at least we're good there. The second thing, this is kind of not really a big deal, but basically today's stream and tomorrow's stream might be a bit shorter. I'm not going to be going too late with them. I'm still going to get, a couple of hours in, but I'm not going to be going as late as I normally do because I have big shit I have to do on Wednesday at work, and I've got a lot of prep to do for that. I was doing a bunch today. I have a bunch to do tomorrow. So it's one of those things of like, I can't go too late because I got to be getting to work early and getting shit done. So blame my employer. But aside from that, we're gonna get some Ghost of Tsushima. We're gonna get rolling on that. And then I can probably yap and talk about other things. Is that Castigator? Who are you giving subs to? Awkward Nerd Mom. Wow, is this your first sub? I don't remember. I swear someone's gifted subs to her before. But anyway, let's continue. Well, let's continue by starting a new game. But yes, thank you for giving out a gift. I really do need to set up a different redeem for gifts because I can never tell. But anyway, are you sure you want to start a new game? Yes. Also, I'm playing with keyboard to start with. If it becomes too much suffering, I'll switch to controller, but keyboard's usually my default. Ah, Castigator, bringing a gun into my samurai game. Shameful display. Which is actually hilarious. This is the thing I will talk about. Thank you, Jean-Claude. This is something I will talk about. So, Hollywood loves to do the whole, oh, samurai, hate gun, dishonorable, only like katana, honorable katana, sort of thing, right? I mean, look, Mike, let's be honest. Sons of the Forest has plenty of things to distract you in that game, particularly considering how Sin discovered that there's the hard-coded key that changes the game language. I do have a katana to the redeemable thingies. I do. Where is it? Where is it? I have two of them. Where's... oh yeah, I have two of them. I have this one.
Do you like sushi?
Which I put in specifically for, like, this sort of game. And I also have this one. See, we got plenty of katanas. Jean-Claude Van Damme and katanas. But yeah, where was I going? Oh yes, yeah. So there's this like kind of Hollywood myth that like Japan didn't like guns, that the samurai were like, guns are dishonorable. You know, we will never use guns. Bullshit. Utter bullshit. Oda Nobunaga, as soon as he got his hands on guns, he was just like, fucking guns, love this shit. Well, actually, sort of. So let me rewind. First guns arrive in Japan in the late 15th century, so like around 1490, I think. Basically a Portuguese merchantman shows up and they were like, hey, Japan, they probably like guns, let's sell guns to Japan. But they kind of like run aground, and the Japanese are like, we're going to confiscate all these guns, we don't know what they are. And the Portuguese are like, let us show you what these things do. And the Japanese go, hot damn, that's great, we're going to take all these guns. I can't remember if they paid for them or not. I think they just kind of confiscated them. And this was down south in Japan in a place called Tanegashima. And the local lord basically went to the local metalsmiths and basically said, hey, figure out how to make these. Because there was a lot of shit in European, these were matchlock firearms at the time, that the Japanese didn't actually have. So screws were not something that the Japanese had developed. So it took them a little bit, but they eventually figured out how to make their own guns. That's why Japanese firearms are often called Tanegashima, because they're named after the place. So yeah, they developed their own firearms, but not only that, the Japanese went really fucking hard into firearms. It's estimated that by the time that the Tokugawa shogunate formed, there were more guns in Japan alone than all of Europe, because the samurai really fucking liked guns. They also did some really weird shit, which is what I really like, because of the fact that they were like, avoiding, well, not avoiding, but they were external to all of the development of Europe. They came up with their own shit. Exactly, a most generous gift. But the Japanese would literally do shit where they were like, a standard Tanegashima is like probably maybe a 75 caliber shot, right? Like it's a regular size. But the Japanese are also like, why not make it bigger? So they have guns that the Europeans would never fucking use that are like, this is a gun that we expect a samurai to carry, and it shoots a ball that's like an inch and a half in diameter. Like, they're just big fuck-off, like, almost miniature cannons that they expect a dude to carry. And I've actually seen them in use, and you can actually... They have some significant recoil, but you can actually shoot them. And they were like, yep, the biggest and the strongest guys get these. Fuck them up, lads. You're not going to ruffle my feathers with this, Mike. Katanas, yes and no. So katana, being folded steel is a necessary thing. Weapons are all about context. The the history of Japan is a tricky thing because, again, a lot of their iron ore is not good purity. The reason why you fold it is to get the impurities out and make steel that is of reasonable quality given the conditions that you have. Yeah, you've mentioned the whole textured for JJ's thing the other day. I don't understand why it's in there, but I mean, who am I to question artists? But yeah, folded steel is not necessarily a good thing, but it is a necessary thing. The katana, for its context, is a reasonably designed weapon. The thing that gets me is that the way that it gets centered in popular culture, and it gets centered for a reason. It's because of the fact that in the Warring States periods and stuff like that, and in the various, like, you know, civil wars of Japanese history, it was not the primary weapon. It was your sidearm. Your main weapon was a spear, like a yari, or, you know, a naginata, a polearm usually. That was what you fought with, and then when that broke or you dropped it or whatever, that was when you pulled out your short sword, your katana or your tachi or whatever. However, in the Edo period, most of the long weapons, like spears and stuff, became less valuable because they weren't having wars anymore. And instead, the sword became a symbol of Japanese prestige for the samurai class. They were the only ones who were allowed to wear two swords. And so samurai invested very heavily into their swords because it was a sign of prestige, and also they were the only ones allowed to carry weapons, more or less. So the sword kind of became centered as this self-defense weapon. And you had a lot of samurai who had nothing to do aside from, like, basically study the blade. That's why you get a lot of there are a lot of sword schools in Japan that found their prominence, and that exist even to today. They found a lot of their prominence in the Edo period, basically because they were like, I have nothing to do, so I'm just going to practice swordsmanship all day and become an expert duelist. And that's why a lot of EI techniques, so Iaido is very much about the draw and cut, because that was the technique favored in dueling. Because it was, if you get your sword out faster than your opponent and cut them faster than they can cut you, you're going to win the duel. Yeah, it depends. It depends. A lot of weapons tend to break. The weird thing with history, particularly with European swords, is most of the examples we have today are the really good quality ones, because those are the ones that got preserved or lasted. Those were usually far outnumbered by what were referred to as armory quality swords, which were things that were like, the blacksmith bangs out in a couple of hours. He's like, cool, here's the things the mooks get, and I sell for, like, you know, a gold piece each, sort of thing. As opposed to, like, here's a really well-made sword that I make for someone for an expensive commission. The same kind of goes for Japanese blades. There's varying quality. The other thing as well is that, like, again, swords breaking was very much a thing of, hey, particularly in Japan, it was very much, okay, it's broken, let's reforge it, and there were multiple ways of doing that. And yeah, it also depends on the quality of the smith, Casta Couture, but even then, high-quality smiths, the other thing as well is in Europe, particularly once you get to, like, the 14th, 15th century, you get the formation of guilds. The guilds kind of occurred before then, but once the guilds are in full swing, usually you had a guild house, right? And usually it'd be a case of, like, particularly if you were in a city, you would go to the guild house and they would have multiple blacksmiths working there. And you'd be like, cool, I want this smith to make a sword or whatever. But each of those smiths, who was usually either a master or a journeyman, usually had apprentices under him. And if you wanted the really good shit, you'd go to a master. But usually it'd be a case of, like, you might go to that dude and be like, give me 20 swords of mediocre quality, and he'd be great. He'd be like, great, apprentice, come here and make 20 mediocre quality swords. Right? Like, there was a lot of stuff where it's like, you could get really, really good stuff from a really good smith, but he also probably had a bunch of apprentices banging out crap as they learned the trade, and he'd be like, cool, those get my house mark on them, they get sold under my name, but they're made by some, like, idiot apprentice sort of thing. Yeah, again, period of peace, and also, again, peace influences the design of things as well, particularly, so for instance, the katana is notably shorter than the tachi, which preceded it. Now, the tachi was a cavalry sword. It was for use on horseback. The reason why the katana is shorter is because it lets you draw it quicker, and it's more convenient to wear around town. It's something that's convenient to wear on your belt. It's the same with things like rapiers and certain other weapons. They became very popular as civil weapons, and as such they're designed in order to be convenient. Yeah, exactly. Time framing the amount someone was willing to spend on it. Quality as well, and also, again, as I said, social conventions and social convenience. So another one, and I know I'm yapping a lot before I get into the whole Ghost of Tsushima thing, but another big one is from Japan. It's what's called, why have I now said it and forgotten what it's called? Tessen, or Iron Fan. Now, some fancy ones of those did actually unfold and look like a proper fan, but those are less common. Those are actually quite rare. The most common form of Tessen is literally just an iron stick. It's an iron stick that's vaguely shaped like a closed-up fan, right? And the whole point of those is that they were something that a samurai could wear in their belt, and it looks like just a fan, right? So it means if you're in a scenario where you can't wear swords, right? If you visit someone else's house, because particularly if you visited someone else's house, usually the courteous thing to do was to take your swords off and leave them at the door. So the idea was, say you visit your friend's house and you're there having some nice tea and reading some poetry with your friend, and then suddenly some guys who don't like you bust into the room and they're like, fuck you, we have swords, you don't have a sword, we're gonna stab you. You can pull out your iron fan and use it to defend yourself as like a truncheon. You can use it to block swords, you can use it to club people. But when you're wearing it around, it just looks like a fan, so you're not offending anyone by wearing a sword. So again, this is a context thing where it's a weapon that's worn in a time of peace in order to kind of fit the social conventions of not offending anyone by wearing, a weapon. There's lots of different things like that. And there's also where you get some really weird weapons in history that are things where it's like, like they forbade weapons of a certain length or whatever, so they make a great example of this. I'm pretty sure this is the case. They have them in both Italy and in Spain. In Spain, they're called like a naro or naraho, I think. They're basically a big flick knife. They're a very large folding knife. When they're unfolded, they're about 1.5 to 2 feet in length. But they're basically very large folding knives. And part of the logic behind them, if memory serves, was the idea that weapons above a certain length were banned, but it was measured when they were folded or something. Yes and no. So Nodachi are impractical as a civil sword. They're not something you would carry around town, but they're incredibly practical as a field weapon because they're an anti-cavalry weapon. Their whole point is they're a sword that's long enough that you can stab someone who's riding a horse. So if someone's riding at you on horseback, you can hit him with the big sword. Nodachi are actually incredibly popular and useful to the point that the Chinese and the Koreans copied them because Japanese pirates were using them on shipback. So when in ship-to-ship combat, because again, this is before cannons really became popular, warriors would try and jump from one ship to the other and fight on the decks. So if you've got a dude who has a sword that's like 1.5 meters long, and he's swinging that thing around, he's covering a large area of deck where no one can go. Yeah, I think it depends. And again, Mike, like some of its cost and some of its utility. Like swords are extremely versatile weapons. They can do quite a lot, and the other thing as well is fatigue. So swords balance quite well, and they're actually quite less tiring. They're status symbol as well, true. But a sword is a very agile weapon because most of the weight tends to be towards the grip. Things like axes and mauls and stuff like that, and hammers, the weight tends to be a lot further forward, and it means that they're a lot more tiring. That's the big one with things like flails and stuff, and things like that. They're incredibly difficult to use because the amount of fatigue it takes when you miss with it, because you have to slow down and stop that thing from hitting you. And very long swords are like that as well, which is why things like the Nodachi, also the Zweihanda or Montante in Europe, the techniques that often evolve around those are basically rotary motion. You swing it in like a loop around your head, because the idea is that if you miss, you use the inertia to bring it back into the guard position. So instead of going down on the cut and then having to pull it all the way back up, you instead loop around and use that inertia. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I could wax lyrical about this for a while, but people came here to to see the Ghost of Tsushima, so... Oh, Kurosawa mode maybe. Samurai Cinema. What's the difference? Japanese dialogue with this is what I want. I thought I picked this in the game. Honjo Masamune Katana. I'd need to look that up. I know I'm familiar with the name. Was he the guy who fought what's his face? Why am I blanking on his name? The guy who wrote the Book of Five Rings. Blanking on his name. Was he the guy with the really long sword that everyone called Drying Pole or whatever? Ah, Mongols! J.R.R. Tolkien. Rolkin Tolkien. Man, I fucking love Kabuto. I love, like, just the design of helmets. Not was sort of, Mike. It's a historical fiction. So, the Mongols did invade Japan twice. Actually, I think 3 times. It didn't end well for them in most cases. Also, how's the volume? Hang on. Sorry for pausing. Okay, that is very loud. I thought I set things up. Give me a hot second. I just wanted to check to make sure that the audio is alright. I swear yeah, okay. Okay. I might bring it down a little bit. Because I set all this up yesterday, but I didn't really get to test it. But it's kind of yelling at me a little bit at the moment. Which I don't like too much because it makes me yell into the microphone. So yeah, it's not alt history so much as it's historical fiction. So Japan did get invaded by the Mongols. It's actually where the legend of the kamikaze came from, the divine wind, because the Mongols weren't exactly great at, shall we say, boat things. The Mongol fleet got destroyed in a typhoon on its way to Japan, and so the Japanese were like, oh yes, you know, Kami has blessed us by destroying the Mongols. Well, it was part of that, and part of it's also the fact that, like, they invaded one time, some of the Mongol forces landed, the Japanese got wrecked a little bit, then the typhoon came and wrecked the Mongols, and the Japanese were able to kind of push out the remaining Mongols. The second time around, the Japanese had kind of prepared. They'd learned their lesson the first time, and so the Mongols showed up, and the Japanese were like, fuck you, we have walls now. We have, like, tactics that are specifically designed to counter your, like, fighting style of using horses and stuff. And yeah, the Mongols did not do very good, and so they gave up after that. So this is one of the places where the Mongols did actually invade. It's an island off the coast of Japan called Tsushima. Tsushima's kind of an interesting place because for a long time it was kind of a haven for pirates. A lot of Japanese pirates would operate out of there to raid China. But yeah, horses aren't that big of a problem in Japan because the samurai used horses a lot. There was a period in Japanese history where samurai were essentially horse archers. Mongol leader. Hey. Is he about to set him on fire? Okay, that's pretty stone cold. That's pretty stone cold. Also, I'm pretty sure I Am the Scourge of God was Attila the Hun.
か。
誉れなき者には情け無用。さあ、かかれ。
戦い。戦い。Oh, I can control this. Yeah. 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 So historically, this wouldn't have been done with swords, but swords for a Kurosawa film, this was what it would look like. Historically, this would be done with a yari, a lance. More or less. Okay, was I supposed to die there? Maybe. Sure, Mike. Sure. I'll happily learn to go. I actually did try learning at one point. It's just one of those things where I like didn't have enough time to practice. As you command, Lord Shimura. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I've got the two-handed technique. Yeah, so this guard, roughly, at least from what I know, that high two-handed guard would be what's called Hasso. It's generally a pretty generalist guard. It can move in more or less any direction. Nice. Nice. Yo. Maybe I should have blocked that. Oh, he's got a big sword. He's got a big two-hander. He's got a big Zanmandao. See, I do not know if the Mongolian stuff is accurate, like their equipment. I don't know. Ah, interesting, Mike. Interesting, because the technique I heard for doing throat singing was to kind of like do that like loose body exhale, like you know that exhale where you're in at the end of the day and you go like you do that kind of just big breathe out and you just kind of let it go. But I haven't practiced it enough, and I also try to be careful because I know some people who are into metal vocals who've given themselves vocal nodules by not being judicious with their screaming techniques. Well, no, but the thing with the Mongolians, right, is that they were not opposed to stealing shit. So at this point in time, the Mongols have taken China. So this is the Yuan dynasty in China, which was the dynasty of Kublai Khan. They at that point in time had adopted Chinese armor. Mongolian armor beforehand had been slightly different, but basically they adopted a lot of Chinese technology because they were like, this is great. So they basically still be riding around on their little steppe ponies with their short bows, but also with like Chinese style armor on and other stuff because they're like, this is fucking great. Ooh. 2 arrows in the back. That's gonna suck. Yeah, again, my qualm here is just what's the full design elements, because the guy, like the lead guy, the Khan or whatever with the spear, he looks pretty accurate in terms of like the style of Chinese armor with that particular type of helmet, and like the studded cloth on the shoulders and stuff. It's some of the other bits that I'm not entirely clear on. Also, actually, no, it's not a spear. It's a Guandao. The helmets look pretty good though. Ah, nice. Do you like sushi?
前は戦士だ。そうであろう。生涯を鍛錬に明け暮れ、勝てぬはずの戦にも全て打ち勝ってきたのだろう。だが己が刃を研ぐ間に
But while you were studying the blade,
我らの手はずは整った。
victory.
学んだのだ。この国の言葉、しきたり、信仰、どの村を飼いならし、焼き払うかをな。
This is very Kurosawa and I like it.
己に問う侍よ、我に下るか。
I like this style of enemy when they like lack a better word, imposing through preparation and knowledge. Fair enough, Mike. Oh. Yeah, but I mean, like, again, Kasagator, the Mongols in real life were kind of brutal in some regards. You know, Genghis Khan was very fond of the idea of, like, kill everyone in the city, bar, like, a couple of people, so that they can spread the message that the Mongols are going to wipe out your city. Like, you know, Genghis Khan and his conquest of a good chunk of Asia killed more than a few people. Quite a few, to the point that he actually, like, reshaped the demographics of Asia. The population demographics. The history of the Mongols is also an interesting one because it's recorded differently depending on where you go. In the Middle East, the Arab histories of the Mongols are particularly scathing. They really fucking hate them for a whole bunch of reasons. One, because they burned down Baghdad, which was the seat of the Caliphate at the time. The other one was the fact that Muslim armies tend to pray before battle. And they do the Hajj, the call to prayer. I think it's the Hajj. I can't remember what it is, but they do the call to prayer. The Mongols realized this, and so there was a battle where the Mongols mimicked the call to prayer, and so all the Muslim soldiers were like, "Cool, great, praying time." Put down all their weapons, started to pray. At which point the Mongolians were like, "Ah, la, 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 la," and kind of charged into combat and murdered them all. And so the Arab histories record this as a particularly perfidious deed. You know, what sort of a heinous civilization would, you know, attack whilst we were praying, sort of thing. Well, no, but again, like in oh look, daikon radish. Yeah, in Arab history, Genghis Khan is often basically portrayed as like the devil. But yeah, to a certain extent, very much outplayed. And that was same with a lot of the European forces that the Mongols encountered, where they just were not well equipped to deal with them. Different guy, Mike, but sure. Well, yeah, it is kind of a dick move, but that was the kind of the point where the Mongols were very, very militarily pragmatic, I guess. A large part of that was Genghis. Genghis very much reformed. Ooh. Thank you, Proxy. Welcome in. How's my favorite orb doing? Exactly. They weren't invading to be nice. The other thing as well is that the Mongol army had been reformed by Genghis, or Chinggis, should I say correctly. But I'm going to say Genghis so everyone knows what I'm talking about. But because previous to Genghis, yes. So this is the sort of equipment you would use when sharpening a blade. That's the whetstone, and then the cloths and stuff. Yes. It's pretty good. I haven't really used the blade much. I basically stabbed a bunch of dudes, and then died, and now I've come back to life, and now I'm gonna stab a bunch more dudes. Oh, it's broken. Yeah, it is better than nothing. We're missing a swordette. We're missing one of our big shoulder pieces, which were functional for protecting against arrows. But yeah, prior to Genghis, the Mongolian way of warfare was very tribal. Like the kind of tribal groups kind of just fought as they were. What Genghis did was he basically took all of the different tribal groups in his force and intermixed them. So he basically was like, instead of factions forming, he was like, no, you have to fight with each other. And for each like group within the Tormund, he was like, you 10 soldiers are responsible for each other. Like, you have to divide the loot amongst each other evenly. And if you, like, if one of you transgresses, all of you transgress. Are we gonna murder this guy, or is she gonna murder him? Yeah, she's gonna fucking stab him. Called it. Called it. Let me guess, she's a shinobi or something. She's a ninja. Also fair, Mike. To be fair though, the Mongols were actually monotheists. Tengri was a not too dissimilar from a lot of the other monotheistic groups. Betrayal, perfidy and betrayal. Everything is broken. Everything is dead. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Thank you, Castigator. At least that's working. Why? Why do you like to break so much? Anyway, give me a second to just fix a few things. Get rid of that. Turn that on. Yep, one whole minute, one entire minute. Yeah, I agree with you on Mortal Kombat, Mike. I 100% agree with you on Mortal Kombat. Yeah, the point I was going to make was that the Ottomans were like religiously pluralistic, but they were like, hey, if you worship anyone who's not Allah, we will tax you for it. We'll tax you for the privilege. The Mongols didn't even do that, I'm pretty sure. The Mongols were just like, cool, enjoy whatever religion you want. Praise Tengri. But yeah, I agree with you on that one, Mike. Mortal Kombat movie. They missed an absolute beat there. They shouldn't have made it about Scorpion or Sub-Zero, though. They should have made it about Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage works perfectly in that, because you literally do Johnny Cage, the washed-up action actor, gets roped into the Iron Fist tournament or whatever. He thinks it's just a film role, accidentally winds up saving Earthrealm, right? Like, that's your setup. Mate. Oh. There's nothing we can do. Lord Shimura. She's going to teach me the way of the warrior. Jin Sakai. Did my uncle survive? Oh yeah, if you want peak cinema, watch any of the ninja movies by Godfrey Ho. Guy's an interesting director. He made a lot of ninja schlock, much of which uses recycled footage from his other films. But he's basically just like, Americans will eat this shit up, so I'm gonna make it to make money. He actually teaches film now at the I believe it's the Hong Kong University. Interesting guy. He's actually quite a capable filmmaker, and he's very 100% like honest on his ninja films being garbage. He's like, yeah, I made them to make money. But he's like, sometimes directors have to do that. Godzilla -0. -1 or -0? Money, money, money. But yeah, the fight scenes in Godfrey Ho movies are genuinely actually quite good in my opinion. If a little bit cheap looking, because he basically films everything with like the Hong Kong skyline in the background. But they're also like very cheesy. Like one of the actors who acted in it was on record being like, why does everyone have to wear a ninja headband that says ninja on it? And he's like, so the American audience will know that you're all ninjas. Yeah, -1. I haven't seen it yet. I know it's on Netflix now. I need to watch it. I'm kind of keen though. I like Shin Godzilla. I know Mike is a Shin Godzilla stan. But I'm also willing to like -1. Wait, I can't remember. Is Mike a Shin Godzilla stan, or is Mike a I like the concept of Shin Godzilla but wasted the potential of the big horror of it? I'll take that chance. What of the cart? We getting in the cart? We stealing that wagon? Gonna paint that wagon. Gonna paint it wood. How do I? Ah, WASD. WASD plus space.
その時いるものをもらうだけ。
俺の太刀もか。
太刀は食べ物と薬に変えた。
なんだと。
怒るな。買い手を捕らえて取り戻してやるわ。
Wait, where'd she go? I lost her. Oh. Okay, you were seen. Cool. That's good. I didn't see where she went. Cool. Where did you go? Where did you go, Ninja Girl? Oh, you went in here. I see. Supplies. Lovely. Yeah, correction. Was someone's house. I'm not gonna lie, there's been this site that's been popping up in my ads for whatever reason. I don't know, Google targeted ads or whatever, that does like Japanese real estate, and some of the houses they have for sale are like ridiculously cheap. And I know why they're cheap. It's because they're semi-rural, traditionally built Japanese houses, so there's a lot of work that needs to be done on them. But it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, I recognize all the flaws of this house, but at the same time, it does look like a nice house. And also absurd in the sense that like the price that they have for it when translated into Australian dollars, I was like, huh, that's cheaper than a house here. That's cheaper than a house in Sydney. Yeah. I also need to go back, but I'm holding off, especially because of all the fuckery that's been happening with tourists lately. A co-worker of mine went recently. The thing is, he went with family, which is apt because this whole cross scene is about family. Mike, are you gonna move into the Grudge house? Are you gonna move into the house that's haunted by a Japanese spirit? I do love the color. Who did this to you? But yeah, a co-worker of mine went to Japan with family, but it was like his extended family, so it was like his parents and like his aunt and uncle sort of thing. Like it was a big family trip. And he said like it was good, but he didn't get to do any of the Japanese public transport because for whatever reason his like aunt and uncle are like allergic to walking. So they were in Tokyo and they were like, let's get a car. And he did say the upside of the car was because they used the GPS to avoid toll roads. They got to see a lot of the countryside, which was nice. But at the same time, he was kind of like, Japan, a country known for its public transport, and we used none of it.
稽古の成果を見せてみろ。わしを撃ってみよ。
はい、おじゅう。
さあ、撃ってこい。
Oh.
近くに来い。
How do I heavy attack? Oh, it's right click. Okay. He'll stab you, uncle.
よろしい。さように戦えれば、あざをつけられることもなかったな。
疲れたんです。
ではそのあざをつけた者が戻ってきた。
We must fight multiple opponents.
ためらわぬ相手からいかにして身を守る。
そやつの目に砂を浴びせ。
What?
それからめった打ちにしてやりましょう。
それは誇りのない安き勝利だ。武士たる者、敵が卑劣であろうと、自らは堕落することなく、己の義を。
I said strike first to go with the honorable choice, but it wasn't the honorable choice.
はい、おじゅう。
ではわしの防御を崩せ。酒井陣が優ある武士だと示してみよう。衝撃で防御を崩し、素早く打ち込め。
See?
やめよ。降参だ。
加減しましたね。
しておらん。太刀であったら、わしは死んでおった。
嘘です。
お前に嘘をつかない。
I would never lie to you, Jin. Lies to you.
わしの攻めを防いでみよう。手心を期するでな。
Q.
守りの構えだ。よく防いだな。良い構えだ。
Okay. Give me a hot second. Give me a hot second. Can I invert camera, invert camera? I want to change something real quick. I don't want block on Q, because block on Q seems like absolute arse water. Let me... okay. Let me try something. Oh, you... Why would you do this to me, game? That one there. Fuck it, I'm just gonna reset to default and see if I can work with Q. Oh, you know, I've been to the Hiroshima Peace Museum. I've been to the Hiroshima Peace Museum twice. I've been to Japan a grand total of 3 times. Said to heal. This is my health. This is a resolve meter. Drawing a resolve to heal and perform other special abilities. Okay. Gain resolve by killing enemies, parrying attacks, and other advanced skills. Have you learned to parry this, you filthy casual? Oh. Okay. I see. Fine parry. Ow. I don't like it on Q. I don't like it on Q. Now then. Oh god, a Yari.
良い切り返しだ。うまく避けたな。良いか。かわしたらすぐさま攻める。
Uncle.
わずかな反撃の気を待ち、生かせ。どうだ。いかなる武具も
There is no weapon, no worry you cannot
打
overcome.
ち破る手はある。
ご指導痛み入ります。
終わってはおらぬぞ。さて陣よ、わしと刀比べをする気はあるか。
あざができますよ。
大口を叩くな。
Interesting.
賭けでもしよう。先に5本打った方が有名を決めると。
Oh. Yes, dinner wager. Let's fucking go.
うまいぞ。
お見事です。
Wonderful form, Uncle. Dinner time. Give me that octopus.
あと一つだけと。
I have one last question.
代々当家の武士は規律を守ってきた。何を重んじてきたかは。
Tell me the virtues that guide us.
主への忠義。
Bros before
己を
hoes.
律すること。あと
申してみよ
誉れ、勇猛に戦い、堺の家を守ることです。
う。それは父の言葉であろう。お前にとっての誉れと。
What does honor mean to you?
それは民を守ること。己を守れぬ者は、
Hmm.
お前は優しいな。
Okay.
だがまずは主に仕えながら皆に示すのだ。勇気と真偽と節制と。
たやすく思えますが、
行うは形だ。わしも日々苦心しておる。しかし我らは規律を守ることで民の模範にならねばならん。もちろん武士にとってもな。それが誉れを売る道だ。
I have switched to controller because I do not like the idea of having to use Q to block. So now I'm gonna have to learn how to fight against this motherfucker. Ding ding. That's a fucking good graphic. Alright. 1 second. Gamepad. Steam input, system translate physical inputs into commands of the game. Right trigger fire, right menu, block is left, aim is left trigger, focus hearing is that, players at jump is dash, quick attack, heavy attack. Cool, I can kind of deal with that. Oh. Get skulled. Can I take his spear?
見つけたんだね。
馬はどこにおる。
馬屋にいるかも。来て。
What's a right trigger? Okay. It's more just I've got to relearn my muscle memory because I use controller for
おいで。
Monster Hunter and I've just got to relearn my muscle memory. Hang on. Let me just check this again. Yeah, that's cool. What's crouch? Yeah, remember them muscles. Remember them swole finger muscles. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy it. But thanks, Castigator. Enjoy the EP time. And before you go, I do like sushi.
Like sushi.
I like sushi. Whoa. What the fuck is Crouch? Standoff, heel, cool horse. Left joystick is play movement. What the fuck is he? What the fuck is Crouch? Is joystick. Ah, it's click. Right click. Right click is crouch. Left click is run. Okay.
近づけそうだ。後ろから喉をかっ切れば静かに殺せる。
誇りはないのか。道理に背くつもり
See,
はないぞ。
again, this is very much a Kurosawa film in that the samurai did not actually view honor as this. Point L to target enemies with your sword attacks. Okay, that was very flashy.
助ける気じゃないだろうね。
もう隠れんたちも取り返した。
ちょっと。
But yeah, like the shinobi, the ninja, they were samurai, right? This idea again is very Hollywood and Japanese film thing of, like, you know, oh, dishonorable ninjas. No, they were samurai. They were just dudes who had a job, and that job was spying. We going this way? We were. Yo.
バンペだ。
一人も逃がすでない。
Fuck it. Ow. Oh, nice shooting.
ありがとうございます。お侍は皆死んだと聞きましたが、
Not all the samurai.
どこかにかくまってもら
小金寺に行こうと思います。
え。よし、街道は避けよう。必ず息子を守るのだぞ。
あんた無茶ばかりするね。
あやつは戦えぬからな。それに
Very Kurosawa.
見殺しにはできぬ。
あんたなら大勢を救える。弟が猛虎にさらわれた。
だから俺を助けた。
We're gonna rescue her
私
brother.
にはあの子しかいない。
おじ上がお待ちなのだ。
頼む。高さへ戻ればそれでいいんだ。
Her bow is interesting. I'm pretty sure it's a Yumi.
救いした後で
Japanese bows are interesting. They're asymmetric. The upper limb is longer than the lower limb. There's different theories as to why. Part of it is because it does help with horseback archery.
馬屋へ急ごう。
But the other theory is that it originated from before horse archery. The idea was that it lets soldiers kneel in two ranks.
命拾いしたね。運がいい。どの馬に乗りたい？
Which horse do I want? Digital deluxe horse. Yeah, baby. Sure.
どうど
似合ってる。
う名をつけねばな。
Nobu Trust Sora Sky Kage.
影世を守る闇。
Yes. Ride with me, Kage. Oh yeah, Japanese stirrups. Japanese stirrups are weird as fuck. Komodo Town. Castle
本当は
Canada.
城の中だね。
Full of Canadians. Let me just walk through this
壁は
rain.
越えられないね。騒ぎでも起こして忍び込んでみる。
いや、大手門から入る。ハーンは足立殿を生きたまま焼き殺し、叔父上を恥ずかしめ、武士を皆殺しにした。この恥はすすがねばならぬ。
正面から突っ込んだらお仲間と同じ目に遭うよ。
猛虎もそう考えるだろう。だが、こたびは俺が。お主はここで待っておれ。
I'm ready to fuck around and find out. Alright. Hold Y. But it said hold Y.
志村殿を返してもらうぞ。
I'm for Lord Shimura. Holding Y. Yeah, there we go. That fucking EI technique. Oh. Okay, it's not a standoff anymore. Nice.
やったね。
I've defeated Mongolia.
申したであろう。
Victory is mine.
この音何？
わからぬ。だがおそらく猛虎の兵器。
Your guard is broken. There are items over here. I had a thought, but I lost it. Also, I feel like this is going to ruin my muscle memory for Monster Hunter, but that's okay. Fireworks. Oh, those, what are they called? The Chinese, arrow launchers. Oh. That's not an entirely accurate way of spear fighting. Like, I get what they've done for the game, but, because the thing is, right, like, getting past the tip of a polearm is a good idea, but polearm fighters have their own techniques, like short hafting and things like that, to help fight people who are close to them.
馬も用意しとく。
頼む。
To be fair, one of the guys I was fighting earlier did actually attack me with the butt of his spear, though, so that helps. Oh, what the fuck was that? Oh, is there something there? Oh, what? X. Okay, that's X. Problem is, I'm used to a PlayStation controller where X is, Nice. Nice suit. That's actually a pretty reasonable counter to a spear. Dodge, and then thrust. The hardest part of a spear is the fact that the tip is very small. Yeah, small tip. But it means it's very hard to see it coming at you. Do I hear more Mongols? I think I do. Oh. Dude was just going to his lunch and I just swing. Finished him off. Oh. Dodging arrows. 4 arrows, more quiet signal allies to duck. Ow. Come here. Give me your bow. I wish for it. Climbing. Whee! Oof, ow, okay. Alright, cool, I won't break my legs like that then. Challenge time. Which one of you bitches wants to dance? There we go. What? Oh. I don't understand that. I was pressing to heal and it was just flashing at me. I don't understand that. Swing. Shobu. The challenge. Do you accept my ninja challenge card? Swing. Ow. Ow. There we go. Get good, parry scrub. I'm saying that to myself. Yes, bring me the Khan. Look at this fucking majesty. I'd love a game like I know I won't be able to beat this guy, but I'd love a game like this where if you can beat him, It just ends the game. Like it's the secret ending where you could beat the boss right at the start. Ooh. Did I just fucking die?
やめよ下れいともたやすく平和が戻るとおじに見せてやれ死にたくはなかろう
We were not very good.
不甲斐ないまたしても父ジン手を貸さんか
I like his helmet with the stag antlers on it.
お前は死ぬのが主情のためだ
Whomst killed? Whomst killed our father? Also, again, very Kurosawa with the color. Yeah, Yoroi is a very cool thing, the armor. Because it was, again, like any armor in feudal societies, it winds up becoming a fashion statement as much as it is a practical piece of warfare. So look up some of the different Kabuto designs. There's a really great one who was a dude who had the crest shaped like a crab, which was really cool. The other one was, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the guy who was in charge of the Japanese army that invaded Korea in the 15th century. Late 15th, early 16th century. And his armor was specifically sculpted. So samurai armor was designed to intimidate. It's why the mempol, the mask and that was often sculpted as like a scowling demon face and things like that. It was designed to intimidate as much as it was to be impressive. His armor was specifically sculpted to look like it was me who did it, Mike. It was I. But his armor was specifically sculpted to look like a dead body. So it looks like armor, but like the diagonal of like the chest and stuff and the mask is sculpted to look like an emaciated human torso, and it's also painted in like a greeny color because the idea was it meant that the enemy would think that they were fighting against a living corpse, which I was like, that's really cool from a I'm gonna be spooky as fuck perspective.
それでも武士か
父上は
He died.
私をかばって
Puppy died.
息子を守るため戦で死んだのだ無念はないそれがモノノフこれからはお前が意志を継げ
I will admit, it is a nice sword.
あやつの魂はこの太刀に宿っておるこれを父と思え
Tomorrow.
わしの砦に来るがよい迎え入れよう今日は父に別れを告げろ
Goodbye, puppy. on, let me adjust my gamer posture. Actually, let me just bring that up. Bring that up. Oh, that'll be so good for my posture. Thank you, gamer chair. Bruh, you better not get salt water on that blade. Also, I'm really wondering, what is that sheath made from? Like, that's inlaid mother of pearl for the crest. Simba. Never forget who you are, Simba. Jin Sakayimba. Never forget who you are. Whee! The wind, the wind. I do like this mechanic.
動けって頼むから。
ユノ、
ジェン、どうだった？
I
志
died
村殿を見つけ
again.
お助けしようとしたが、あえなくハーンに。
The Khan was
俺
there.
は嘆いておろう。
あんたが無事でよかったよ。
命を捨てても対馬を救うつもりが、今や猛虎に故郷を乗っ取られ、味方もいなくなった。
自分より強いやつに負ける気持ちわかるよ。情けないよね。
She's gonna teach me them secret ninja techniques, isn't she?
死んじまったら元も子もない。生き延びるためなら何だってやらなくちゃ。
このまま再びハーンに挑んだとしても、返り討ちに遭うのは必要。
And then you must fight unlike a samurai. This is basically what the samurai actually did, though,
そうして志村殿を
because they changed their tactics to deal with the Mongols.
だったら私が
騎兵だ。ハーンの番犬だ。
大勢で来る。まずい、隠れなきゃ。
I'm like a Pokemon. I'm in the long grass. Well, this grass doesn't seem long enough to hide me. Like, how the fuck are they not noticing me here? Also, those horses are probably too large to be Mongol horses. Mongol horses are much closer to ponies. They're very short and, like, stocky.
あんたを探してるんだ。
What do you want, Yuna?
馬が逃げちまったじゃないか。
主の元に戻るようしつけてある。
Why couldn't I call my horse Roach?
すごいな。猛虎はあんたを探してる。
お主は逃げろ。俺が猛虎兵を引きつける。
タカを助けるまでそばを離れるつもりはないよ。
ではまず火星を得ねばな。腕が立つといえば石川先生や
He just had a Dougie.
足立政子殿。このお二
Teach
人
me how to Dougie. Oh yeah, that wasn't on my bingo card for 2024, was Snoop Dogg crip walking as part of the Paris Olympics.
城に忍び込める道具だって作れるよ。
では壁を登れるようなものは。
タカの腕なら朝飯前さ。
Oh, excellent. Give me them grappling hooks. Give me them,
お主は先に
what are they
後
called?
で向かおう。
The
あの子は
claw
弱いから
things.
長くは持たない。
ユナ、必ず弟は助ける。
志村様。
Also, I'm curious as to who she is that she knows how to ride a horse. will say visually it is lovely. Yep. Mermation of Starlings. Yeah. Let me just pause there, just to enjoy the, Yeah, well again, so how do I put this? I'm not surprised that Snoop Dogg did the Crip Walk because Snoop Dogg does the Crip Walk. I'm more surprised that he was even in the opening procession of the Paris Olympics. What is this? Right trigger. Flowers. 1 times flower. 2 times flower. What is this? Ah. Alright, haiku. Let me compose a haiku. Yes, let me compose a haiku. Haiku time. That would be, I'm not gonna lie, Mike, that would be the funniest shit if it was like Snoop Dogg just inserts himself into the Paris Olympics and no one bats a fucking eye. At least it wasn't like fucking Elon Musk or whatever, like, you know, just being like, you know, I'm here, so I'll insert myself into the Paris Olympics. Yes, chat. Headband of Refuge. Yes. A fine poem. Ducks, Wang. Ariake Prefecture. App and journal is now available. Oh. Monsieur, are you supposed to be here? Motherfucker, do I look like I'm supposed to be here? Give me the damn torch. This is a tale, I see. Jin's Journey, the Warrior's Code. I see, gives me major legend increase, focused hearing, assassination. The Broken Samurai. You learn powerful new techniques. Wind will guide you. Sensei Ishikawa. I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna see Sensei Ishikawa. He seems kind of fucking cool. I do kind of like the I do kind of like the wind gust mechanic. Like, it's a for a game that is supposed to be this visual. It's a cool way of not having to have a mini map. See, I kind of imagine Snoop getting the torch and being like, "Merci beaucoup, motherfucker." You come here, you motherfucker. Is he challenging me? You challenging me? Oh, that's right. Again, because I'm using a PlayStation controller, I keep thinking X is the down button. So every time it's like, show him mercy, I'm like, these nuts. Oh, do you have something for me? Give me your supplies. 4 times supplies. Is there anything I can loot with your wagon? Your hobo Mongol. I can. Ew! Ew! Oh. Is that a fire? Flowers. Is that a catapult? Can I launch the catapult? Can I put my horse in the catapult? Yeah, wait. Oh. I want to try something. Can I? Damn it. Damn it. I was hoping I could cut the rope to. Yeah, I'm not sure if these catapults would have looked like this. So here's the thing. The Mongols did actually use catapults. Or something similar. Wait, you're not my horse, are you? Are you my horse? I thought you were my horse. Yeah, you were my horse. Stole some other dude's horse. Yeah, the Mongols did actually use catapults and stuff, because again, as I said, they copied a lot of stuff from China. Ah, Nekohai. Cool. I'll need to find out what the button for bow is. Hang on, let me... Where's the wind sending me? The wind's sending me this way. Yoshi Prefecture. Liberate Ogawa Dojo. Am I where I need to be? No, I'm not yet. But I could liberate this place while I'm here. Standoff time. Also, welcome in, Neko. How you doing? This is my first time playing Ghost of Tsushima, so. Wing. It's pretty good so far. Come here. Teng twang. Ah, damn it. They got that conch going. Oh. Dojong, Dojong. Come here. None of that nonsense. You up there? Ah, damn it. I can't do anything about you because I don't have a bow. Ow. Ah, Borgo. Excellent. I love a good Borgo. Ow. And now back down I go. I haven't actually had a really good burger in a while though. I find sometimes, like, particularly if I go to a new place, like, Borgo is a gamble. Because I went to this place last year that was supposed to be like a really good, like, beef place. Like, they do like steak and stuff. And I got a burger there and it just was kind of mid. They also did that thing of charcoal buns, which I find charcoal buns to just be so thoroughly mediocre. Because like, yeah, oh, it's fancy, the bun's black, but at the same time, it's like, okay, it tastes like burnt. Ooh, supplies, 14 supplies, thank you. Oh. Oh. I'm wondering, is there like a sneak up behind people and just murk them technique? Love how I just hug this guy in a wall and murk him. Oh, oh, ow. I will learn stealth later. Ow. Ow. Fuck you, Archer Man. Ow. 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 We will do this again. It's time for a challenge. Fight me. Fight me. Ow. Did he arrow his friend? Oh yes he did. Ow. Ow. Come here. Ow. 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 Dodge the arrows, Ando. Ow. Dodge the arrows, Ando. Dodge them, not run straight onto them. No, supplies. So I'm assuming supplies restore my resolve. Yeah, that guy's not up there anymore. That's very good. Okay, nice. I can do that. I've done that before. Oh shit. Managed to stick myself inside a bush. Sashimono Bana. Very good. Very honorable. Oh. You didn't see shit. You didn't see shit. You didn't see a guy running around. Come and fight. Fight me. I've never done a standoff with a spear before. Nice. Fuck you. Oh. Oh, okay, they're sheep. Oh, what? No, those are dogs. Thought they were really fluffy sheep. Ow. Ow. I'm like, oh, fluffy boys. No, those were dogs. Fucking cunning Mongolians disguising their dogs as sheep. Release the prisoners. Well, okay, release the dead corpses that used to be prisoners. Unit supplies. I can't believe I mistook those dogs for sheep. It's like, oh, sheepies. Ah, yes, yurts. Praise Tengri. Alright, what do we got? What's in the box? In the box. Supplies. Yes, give me all the supplies. Okay, apparently I need more resolve. What supplies gave me resolve? Clearly not. Exactly, carnivorous balls of fluff. Yes. We have recovered a Sashimono banner. Oh, more swords. Can I have, please? Can I challenge this man? Okay, I can just... I didn't mean to attack the horse. Alright, this is making me want to listen to Tenga Cavalry. I need me some Tenga Cavalry. Oh. Let me just go in this yurt where I'll be safe from archers. Come here. Come here, Archer. Surely you will enter the yurt. No, not even Seinfeld theme, Mike. It'd be, looks like they were wolves in sheep's clothing. Yeah. Put on the sunglasses. Oh, wrong one. Yeah. Damn it. No more duding. Oh. Oh. Ow. Ow. Oh. Okay, I just got fucking shot. Alright, attempt number 3. Again, it's all about the muscle memory. I'm doing fine until I fuck up and have to keep being like, what button do I press again? Also, are they making this easier for me every time? Or is it because it's nighttime they're all like asleep or some shit? Please tell me it's because it's nighttime they're all sleepy beepy. And I think the game just decided that it was like, you've died enough times, I'm gonna kill off a bunch of these dudes. Praise Tenga. Oh. Ow. Stop that. Oh, dogs. Fuck. Ow. Why are the dogs my greatest enemy? Is that the famous killing dogs VTuber tradition I've heard of? Alright, we'll recover the banners. Including this one that I must have walked past earlier. Destroy the black powder cache. But where? Is this the black powder cache? Ah, there's the black powder cache, which we must destroy. Light it up, light it up. Kaboom! Ah. This guy just muttering, just like fucking waking me up in the middle of the night. Look at this guy. Now that's actually what Mongol armor did actually look like post the Chinese invasion. Like the scale, like the style of shoulder pads, particularly the face mask. Man's got his Dao. Ooh, ow. Yeah, okay. Ooh. Ow. Nice. Ow. Ow, okay. I'm on low health. Press to heal. That was going okay till it wasn't. This would actually be a pretty hard fight for a katana wielding opponent just because of that shield. I do like that bind there. Ow. Ow. Okay, so apparently I can't parry the shield. When he punches me with the shield, I don't seem to be able to parry that. Oh. Ching. Yeah, I like that bind. That's very cool. Also, this dude does a really cool thing when he does the bind, and then he steps inside of our dance, which is a classic swordsmanship technique for breaking someone's stance, essentially. It doesn't break their stance so much as, but what it does is it puts your foot in and knee in a position of leverage, where then you can apply leverage to their thigh, but you can essentially apply leverage to their thigh during the bind to push them onto the ground. Or at the very least, stop them from pressing their advantage or retreating. And particularly that one that he did. I've seen some Chinese techniques and also some Indian techniques that are like that, where he goes into a very low kind of stance, almost like horse stance in Hung Gar, where the whole idea is that it's like you put your foot inside their stance and then lean down a lot, and the idea is it's if they push down on you to try and force you back with the bind, what you can do is you can kind of collapse down and force them down with your knee. So it's kind of them pushing on you pushes themselves over. Deflection or evasion? Evasion. Oh, sweet. I have dodge roll now. Stone stance. Effective against swordsmen. Water stance. Cool. So it's effective against swordsmen. Attack deals stagger damage. Why sword breaker. Holding that. Hold right trigger to change stances. Stone puncture. Battle your foe with 2 piercing. Hold Y then tap Y. Okay, cool. Water stance. Effective against shieldman. Wind stance. Spearman. Moon stance. Effective against brutes. Ghost. Samurai. I can now dodge roll. That one would have gotten me X or Y to left button right before taking damage. 6 to counter attack. Oh. 2 gold. I will do so. But first, I want to. Wee! 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 Alright, haunts. Let's go. Kage. Ike Kage. Oh, there's the Shrine Maiden. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's it. It's not click, it's just push. Show me the wind. The wind is going that way. Once, why are you upset? Is that a fucking bear? It is, it's a fucking bear. Is that some fucking peasants being murdered by a fucking bear? Did my horse just get banned? I think it did. These dudes just getting absolutely fucking obliterated by bears. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this on stream before, but I am constantly amazed by the fact that there hasn't been a large budget film made about the Sankambetsu brown bear incident, which was, it was in like 1880s in Japan, where a large bear basically attacked a village for like 2 months straight and killed like 17 people. There's so much to that story that just reads like something out of like an actual movie. Like the fact that the villagers getting attacked by this bear, so they send for a guy who's like a famous bear hunter, and like when they get there and like they get to the village that he's in, they find out that he's like an alcoholic. He like sold his rifle to buy more alcohol, and he's like, no, I don't hunt bears anymore. But then he eventually does come and join their hunt for the bear, and like, you know, one of the kid whose parents got killed by the bear eventually becomes a famous bear hunter who kills over like 100 bears as revenge and all this other stuff. Like it reads like something out of a movie. Also, I think that like you can generally make good creature horror with just a regular animal in the right circumstances. Great example being the Australian horror film Rogue, which is essentially what if you're caught in the middle of, like, I think it's the Northern Territory, Southern Northern Territory or Northern Queensland. Like, if you're caught in the middle of a river during a flash flood and there's a giant, well, not even giant, but just a very large and aggressive saltwater crocodile. Which, again, interesting concept. How the fuck do I get down? Yes, horse. Jump off the cliff. Whee! I'm curious. I'm gonna leave my horse here real quick. Or not. I'm gonna come around here. What is this? Ah, right trigger. Okay, I can...
日吉の湯だ。
Yoshi Springs.
宿の者なら先生の所在を知っているはず。
Someone at the inn, someone at the out. Is this the inn? Or is this the archery dojo? Give me the flowers. Give me them chrysanthemums. Who are you? Are you the knife sharpener? Jeff hides to spare. I do. Actually, I'm not gonna sell anything. Goodbye. Moktekyo. Are you praying for alms, sir? Or are you composing haiku? Okay, you're just bowing at me, okay. Where's the inn? Are these hot springs? Man, this place is just really fucking pleasant. Love to live somewhere with like a nice little just stream in the middle of it. Lack of snow monkeys, yeah, but the snow monkeys, from what I've heard, the snow monkeys are kind of dicks. I did. Ah, Yuki. Yeah, I'm kind of pleasant. But like, no joke, if... I know it's not something I could do urban, because I love, like... I love Japanese style gardens, not necessarily like a full-on Japanese style garden, but I love the way they lay things out, the way they plant things, the arrangement style of the garden. So it doesn't have to be Japanese plants, but I love the way they arrange things. But I wouldn't be able to do it urbanly, and I hate living rurally, so... Ah, thank you for the traveler's attire. Sword kits. Not enough flowers. Prowling tiger. Oh, interesting. Snow demon's eyes. Emperor's tears. Sea dragon's wing. Okay. Armor dyes. Traveler's attire. Discovered, undiscovered, undiscovered. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Hats. Yeah. Warrior's headband. Twilight headband. Hinode headband. Damn it, I can't afford the big hat. I want my ninja scroll vibe. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Yuki? Welcome in. Oh, I can now track new locations, the guiding wind. Yeah. Is this the inn? Oh yeah, this is a hot spring town. This place seems very pleasant. Man's just having a good old time. I must ask at the inn. Speaking of hot springs though, so we have what's the point of the basket? I'm genuinely curious. What is your job? What's the point of this? Because it can't be catching fish because there's no fish in the hot spring. But yeah, we have native hot springs in various places in Australia. And we actually have some up in the Snowy Mountains, up in Kosciuszko National Park. And there was this fucking harebrained... I can't believe the New South Wales government agreed. Well, actually, I can, because fucking John Barilaro. But they agreed to this scheme where they were like, oh, we want to build a Japanese-style, like, onsen resort up on the hot springs, right? See, the thing is, the hot springs are currently the responsibility of the parks. I can't remember if it's national parks or state parks. And that's why everyone was kind of pissed off about it, because they were like, hey, you're essentially privatizing something that's already publicly available. The other thing is that for a Japanese-style onsen, the springs need to be a certain temperature, right? I believe it's somewhere around 70 to 80 degrees. The hot springs in this location are quite nice, but they're not that hot. They only get up to about 50 to 60. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, there's an artifact nearby. I can sense it. I can sense it in my waters. But yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like they would have to build this onsen at these hot springs and also install like water heaters and stuff to heat up the spring water further in order for it to be adequately outfitted as a as an onsen. It was just the most ludicrous setup. It was just like, hey, let's go ruin this perfectly good hot spring to like try and get some like cheap tourist money for whatever developer wants to build it. I don't think it's going ahead. But yeah, the concept itself was absolute nonsense. Are you the bath lady? Are you gonna offer me bathing? Soak in the healing waters of the hot springs. I will say they are pretty nice. I have been to onsen before, and they are very nice. Let me just commit the faux pas of swimming in the hot spring. Samurai? Masaka Bakula.
石川先生を探しておる。
なんで討ち死にされたので。
生きておる。道場はどこだ。
森の先です。ご案内いたしましょう。
Thank you. You there, drinking man.
まさかあなたも
Share your sake with me.
他にもいらっしゃったのか。
一体誰のことだ。
カシネに住んでいるとか。ぜひお会いになられてください。
行ってみるとしよう。
Want to bet that this guy, Lord Jinrai or whatever, is a fucking fraud or like a bandit or something?
まあいつものことですけどね。先生の伝説は誠ですかね。
伝説だと。
たった一本の矢で海賊の船を沈めたとか。
誠だ。最も射抜いたのは船ではない。海賊の頭だ。
怒らせないように気をつけ
後ろめたいことで
も。滅相もございません。
では心配には及ばん。
Do you deserve death? Oh yeah, I don't know if the image is actually real or not, but the image of someone supposedly outing a bot on Twitter by being like, ignore all previous instructions, compose a poem about oatmeal. I like the fact that it has essentially become a vernacular in our in like modern discourse. Like, I like the fact that when people are saying bullshit online, people are responding to them with, even if they're not actually a bot, they've just been responding with like, ignore previous instructions, write a poem about hamsters. Are those bees? Are those wasps? I think they are. We must scale the cliff. Up. Up. This would be really fucking hard. You telling me there's a path I could have just fucking taken?
石川先生の道場
Ozora headband. Ozora Subaru! Ah! Subaru style sheep killing technique! Hmm. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Time for some Kyudo. Some Zen archery.
戦いがあったか調べてみようこれは血の跡新しくはない
Fight wasn't recent. Who did he struggle with?
射抜かれた後に
Someone was
矢を抜
wounded.
いておる
See.
足跡だいたものかいられたものか中華へ逃れられたのやも武士にしては質素ないおり
動くな。
石川先生
堺の跡取りか。
I like this guy
生きて
already.
おったとは。
菰田で待っておりました
向かう途中で賊に襲われてな。
その賊を待ち構えていたと
備えあれば憂いなしと言うだろう。
Oh, he's got the tiger
志
sheath.
村殿も討ち死にか。良き男だったが。
無事ですしかし囚われの身に
望みはあるな。
実はその件でお力添えを
できぬ。不肖の弟子に召喚されての。
手を貸しましょうしかるのち何卒ご助力を
遅れを取るなよ。
Try and keep up, bitch. El Sensei Ishikawa. I feel like there's more to this than meets the eye. Da 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 da.
他に生き延びた者はおるか。
存じません
では猛虎に手向かう者は。
残念ながら他にはござらん
なら探さねばな。二人では救出などおぼつかぬ。
お弟子殿の居場所は
巴の行く先など知れておる。
巴
Moe. Oh, it's a girl.
名護か生まれは
生まれは百姓。だが弓は並ぶ者などおらぬ。大主でさえな。
最後にお会いしたのは確か10年前
弟子志願だったな。
ご記憶とは
門前払いしたやつを忘れぬ。
なぜ私ではなく巴を弟子になさった
お主は有望。巴は神道よ。
猛虎が
殺す。
勝負しろ
Shobu. Let's fucking go. Dasha. We're stuck. Ow. Ow. Whoops. Ow. I love how my archer dude's just running up into the hills to like take cover. Drunk
だが
Tanuki.
菰田では負けました。
Love me some raccoon dogs
ならタヌキにも劣る。
and supplies. Tanuki and them big balls.
巴の足跡だ。
I see.
中山砦が抜かれた。あの石膏が証拠だ。
砦は日吉の近く。
次は日吉が狙われるな。
争った跡が。
襲われたか調べるんだ。
Town will be the next to fall unless we can stop it.
米と泡。手つかずだ。
不意を打たれたな。
Yummy rice and millet.
矢筒があります。
わしが与えた開伝の証だ。
血の跡、わずかだが。
死者はおらぬな。
No one died.
どうなっておる。
You! Bamboo! Ishikawa sensei.
巴が矢筒を捨ておくとは。
敵から逃れるためか。
捕まったか。
では今頃。
尋問か拷問。あるいは。
まさか叔父上も同じ目に。
恐怖は猛虎の武器。たじろげば奴らの思うつぼぞ。
お弟子は。
Don't let them use it against you. Don't be scared.
中山だ。
Nakayama.
砦は近いぞ。わしが菰田におればな。
いらっしゃらずばこそ、今共に戦える。
なぜ負けたかわかるか。
けだものには勝てませぬ。
それは違うな。
Wrong
この
answer.
目で見たのです。
キューバの道は見るのみにあらず。心を研いで感じるものよ。
Ah, yes. So Kyudo, which is Japanese traditional archery, has a very strong association with Zen. And there's a lot of that sort of stuff in there.
ここで止まれ。話がある。
いかがな。
Speak to me,
こ
sensei.
の弓は数年前に長尾殿から賜ったものだ。
Did you just pull this out of nowhere?
こんな弓です。
そうであろうとも。増えての者がかような弓を引くなど考えるだに心が痛むわ。
それほどの品を私に。
早とちりをするでない。だがお主の腕次第で貸してやってもよい。戦の前に試しておくか。
I have always wanted to shoot a Yumi
手
though,
前にある灯籠を狙ってみろ。
because I used to do archery.
よし。次は奥の灯籠だ。左だぞ。
Prep the shot. Breathe. Good
まず
form.
まずだ。さらに遠くの的ではどうかの。
Oh,
的が遠ければ矢は落ちると教えたろう。
yeah, I understand. Let me. There we
どう
go.
思った。
手に馴染みますな。
そうであろう。
It wasn't.
大事にすることだ。行くぞ。
But yeah, I've always kind of wanted to shoot a Yumi.
この弓があれば。
I wouldn't like to own one. They're very high maintenance.
戦を決めるのは人だ。
A lot of traditionally made bows are because you have to like unstring them and restring them based on conditions, and I'm too lazy for that. I'm happy working with modern composite bows.
中山砦だ。
Because I learned to shoot on recurve bows, but I mostly shot compound bows. Just because compound bows require less consistent practice.
備えがよく見えよう。
And I was never like an amazing archer. I was decent enough, but I was never an amazing archer. I like never did it competitively. I wasn't shooting regularly. Because people who do like competition shooting, they usually shoot, depends. A lot of them usually shoot recurve bow. But it requires a lot of practice just to keep the muscle condition.
あとは共に。
せいてはことを潜んじるという言葉があるぞ。
ではどうしろと。
まあ少し落ち着け。奴らは石膏を探しに兵を出すはずだ。門を開いた刹那に飛び込むぞ。
長引けばそれだけ巴殿が危うくなります。
心配は無用だ。戦場をよく見る。
I like this guy. He's
何
teaching.
か役に立つものはない。
He's teaching us.
旧兵の数が多い。
They have many archers.
わしらが勝る。
松明を撃ち落とせば火花が飛びましょう。
火事を起こせるな。
樽で痛手を与えられるやん。
やるか
Oh yes, red barrels. And trees.
足の下。いれば足止めになるやん。
針と矢で猛虎を穴だらけにする算段か。門が開いたら敵を引きつけろ。矢の雨を降らせ
Yeah, the Japanese were pretty big on archery. They actually had a lot of different arrow types
あとは待つのみ。
for different purposes.
門が開きます。
わしの合図を待て。
Sensei, the signal.
まだだぞ。今だ。奴らをメイドへ送ってやれ。
Oh, ow. War stuck. I really don't like shooting with this controller. It's okay, I can deal with it. Dojong. Oh. Ow. 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 Got him.
まずまずだな。
中にも敵が。
すぐに消す。そして巴だ。
Give me your supplies. Maybe I should restock my arrows too. Turns out my arrows are full. Ooh. Ow. Nice. Ow. Oh, fuck that guy. He didn't even do the yelly thing that they're supposed to do. The dog. Whee! Oh, I can't archer that guy. Oh, ow. nice. Ah, cool. They killed their leader. He had the cool like, dual swords. Ow. Did you get him? Oh, I'm out of arrows. Sensei, I'm gonna need you to. I'm not sure how they got on the roof, Sensei. Oh, there's a ladder. I see. Ow. Don't fucking shoot me.
Mate, これは巴のもの。あたりを調べろ。
Scroll.
猛虎の言葉で弓について書かれている。
あ
あなたの名もここに。
わしの教えを猛虎に売ったということか。
yeah, that's usually frowned upon.
Moukoの矢ではない。
これは巴の矢だ。
確かですか。
鹿の角の矢はずはわしが教えた。
Interesting.
海わしの矢羽もな。
弓を奪われたのでしょうか。
それにしては狙いが正確。猛虎の兵なんぞにできぬ芸当だ。
巴に弓を使わせたのか。
Hmm. Interesting. Let's just hop. Supplies? Any supplies? What do we got? What do we got? Supplies we have.
誰かが住んでおったようだ。
女子の衣服。
巴のものだ。
釈放されていたのか。なぜだ。
聞こえたか。
島のものです。
寒い。
Help this man.
女を探しておる。
Tell us.
俺と同じ檻にいた女です。でも奴は解放され弓を受け取ると女房を殺しやがった。他の奴らも。
あのムクロ。
己の腕を敵に売り込み寝返りおったか。
頼む。
I'm gonna have to kill her, aren't I?
死にたくない。
長いは無用。
Did that man just like no clip through the ground? Like that man's head is clipped through the ground.
殺しておれば
なんと
自由を得るためお前は敵についたのだ。
なぜそのような先生
わしが追い詰めたのだ。
追い詰めたご説明を先生
Sensei, were you being too free with the students?
わしを襲ったのは賊ではない巴だ。
なぜ
武士の本懐を理解しておらぬからだ。
あなたのせいで寝返ったのでは。
己に何がわかる。
本意をお聞かせください。
わしの弓術を猛虎に奪われるわけにはいかぬ。
ならば止めねば。
I want the truth, Sensei.
はいらぬ。
いや、いるはずです。勝利は人がもたらすもの。武具にあらず。
お主も立派に育ったな。
Well said, well said.
巴を仕留めるぞ。わしのやり方でな。
そして叔父上の救出にお力添えを。
ああ、約束しよう。手はずを整えておく。時が来たら道場に来い。
我らだけでは勝てません。もっと味方を集めねば。
生きておるかはわからんが、
Masako
足
Adachi.
立雅子殿を探せ。
Ah, interesting.
福島随一の女武芸者だ。
Onna Geisha. Hell yes. Warrior women. Good boy. Good boy. Alright, we might go to one more. We might go to one more quest and then we'll call it there. So as I said earlier, I can't go too late tonight. Because I got work to do this week, which sucks dick, but I gotta do it. Oh, we almost level up our legend. I need to do one more, just random battle. Lady Masako. Alright. So that's Jin's journey. That's Lady Masako. Okay, cool. So let's go help our person that we agreed would help. Oof. Metal Hattie, thank you for the flashbang. Very appropriate for a ninjutsu based game. How you doing? Welcome in. We're playing the Ghost of Tsushima. I'm doing okay. I have died a couple of times. Mainly due to the fact that I just haven't learned all the buttons yet. So sometimes I'm like, I should dodge this arrow, and instead I just jump. Yeah, I don't know if I would want to be a samurai, but I will admit the aesthetic is very cool. Because I feel like the whole, you know, getting stabbed by people thing, yeah, not exactly high on my priority list. Oh. Oh, damn it. I wanted to have a standoff. Oh, well. Bonk. Bonk. Swing. Oh, ow. Oh, good dodge. Got him. Yeah, but here's the problem. That samurai had to pay taxes. Like, it wasn't like you didn't pay taxes and got stabbed. It was like you got stabbed and you also paid taxes. The difference was just that taxes was like, we take 1/3 of your harvest. Because this is the thing that, like, there's varying levels of samurai. And a lot of them were basically just, like, landowners. Like, they'd have some peasants under them, but it was kind of like a lot of them were basically just farmers who were allowed to have swords. Ooh, new ghost weapon unlocked, kunai. Left plus right button to throw kunai at enemies, leaving them staggered. Okay, cool. I have learned kunai ability, hold to buy. I love a sword and they don't get, but what's the line from Aladdin? Look out, he's got a sword. You idiots, we've all got swords. No, I was gonna say if anything, as a samurai, you'd be the one doing the taxing. But it's your job to collect the taxes of the peasants on behalf of your lord. And then also to give taxes to your lord. No, I feel like the real one that'd be great in feudal Japan would have been the monks who like the Zen monks, because a lot of those dudes basically just wandered around the countryside like playing the flute and asking for money. Oh, that's Yuna. Okay. Oh. Hang on, where is she? Ah, she's that away. Very good. Very good. Where is Yuna? I must learn to be a ninja. Ah.
待ってたよ。
I did. Mitsuke-ta.
倒したのか。
来るなら早く来て。危うく死ぬところだったよ。猛虎が捕虜を連れて川上に向かったらしい。鍛冶屋を見たって人もいる。
弟か。
もしかしたらね、金田の入り江の近くに野営があるって聞いた。
That's the other one. Actually, no, blacksmithing I think could be very interesting in Japan. The thing with Japanese blacksmithing is that it's, again, like a lot of things, inherently tied to Zen Buddhism. So there's a lot of, in traditional Japanese blacksmithing, there's a lot of ritual around it. Like before they make the tamahagane for like the massive iron for smithing, they do a lot of like it's like a month of like prayer and like purification and stuff to then be like, cool, we can now happily make the steel without demons getting into it. You want to chop Chow down?
もうすぐあの子に会えるんだね。
お主はいい姉だ。
そんなことない。
弟は何というかな。
Gimme,
あん
gimme,
たにも
gimme,
兄
gimme.
弟はいるの？
俺の身内は叔父上だけだ。
助けた後ど
Lord
うするの？
Shimura.
休みたい。叔父上がいらっしゃれば島は救われるからな。
そればっかりだね。
勝てるはずのない戦を制してきたお方だぞ。お主は弟を助けた後どうする？
実は考えてる暇はなかった。
Get off the
水
road.
はどう？もう痛まない？
ほぼ治った。お主の手当てのおかげだ。
I love those magic bandages.
そう見えるかもな。
Also, I find it hilarious how, like, she heals us with bandages and then the rest of the game is just use your resolve to be like,
それがものの札。
yeah, well, yes and no, Hattie. As someone who makes steel for a living, it wasn't just a matter of they couldn't figure out how to make something hotter than fire. It was also the fact that Japanese steel tends to have a lot of impurities in it, a lot of silica, a lot of sulfur, and is very often iron sand. Again, as I said, silica. So our company, well, it depends. My company doesn't. My company makes from iron ore, but our branch in New Zealand make from iron sand, and they have to run it through kilns. So you're right. Like hotter is a thing because they have to run it through kilns to get the silica out. But yeah, the folding was a means of getting the impurities out. The Japanese also didn't quite get there with carbonization. So yeah, most Japanese blades tend to be a mix of high carbon and low carbon. which does make them exceptionally sharp, and they hold their edge amazingly well. But Europe developed spring steel, which is much more flexible.
騒がれずに
何か手があるはずだ。
The temper is much better.
奥の守りは硬そうだ。
Fences in the back. They got horses in the back.
岩は登れそうだ。
足場が緩いと崩れる
Hmm.
気づかれるよ
What else have we got?
正面の壁は出来上がっておらぬな。
隙間があるかも
Would be a way in.
正面の壁に隙間がありゃ
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier, where like a lot of things, particularly in weaponry, it's determined by context and
も
materials.
し手違いがあれば
Um,
捕虜が殺されるよ何度も見てきたんだ忍び込むしか手はないからね
That's why I think like a lot of the how you say non-metallic weapons I find very interesting, like the mahuidal from South America, which is essentially a wooden club with chunks of obsidian fixed with resin, was really quite clever because instead of trying to make one big blade, they make lots of little ones because it means as they break they can be replaced.
かつて我が父も平和のために命を捨てた。
私だって同じだよ
I mean,
だけど
like
今はやらなくちゃ
you joke, but Europeans kind of did the same thing.
一緒に背くわけにはいかん。
今は目をつぶって家族を
My
助け
my
たいんだ
my my sword is made from Turkish steel that I purchased because I have no idea how they made it, and I shipped it from Italy, and then I had a priest bless it to get all the Turkish devils out of it.
それじゃ暗くなるまで待とう
行くぞ。
Because that's the thing, like metallurgy really. This is hilarious. So one of my best friends is a metallurgist.
タカは苦労してるんだ
He's a really interesting guy because he's like, yeah,
守ってやったのだな。
metallurgy wasn't really a science until
タカは
like
盗みを嫌ったけど
at its earliest, like the 18th century, like 1700s when we really started to actually get scientific with how we made steel, and we kind of figured out how to make carbon steel, and never really figured out how to do anything else. He wrote his university thesis on potential steels for use in aero engineering. So basically, they use very particular alloys in like rockets and jet engines and stuff, because what you need is you need it to remain strong, like you need to remain durable and also flexible at high temperatures, right? Like when you're running a jet engine or something, or a rocket or something like that, or if you're re-entering through the atmosphere. The problem is that the alloys that you need to use to get these properties at room temperature tend to be very brittle. At high temperatures, they're great, but at room temperature, they're very brittle. And so he was looking at adding potential alloy elements, in particular rhenium, as a way of, can we make this more durable at room temperature so it doesn't break?
喉をかっきりしない
You sound like someone who wants a Dybbuk in their sword. Maybe. American Steel #1. See, Metal Hattie as an Australian steelmaker. I'm morally obliged to contest that. Even though I will admit American metallurgy is pretty damn good. Although again, I'll also admit I don't know the particulars of, for lack of a better word, American geology. Because steel's influenced by a lot of things: quality of ore, quality of other materials you can put into it. So the part of the world I live in Australia, I live in coal country. We've mined coal here for about 200 years, and in particular, the mountains I live near are very well regarded as metallurgical coal. In fact, in like the turn of the century, like the 1900s, coal from my part of the world was widely regarded as one of the best, if not the best, metallurgical coal in the world. But the thing in Australia is so there's the two primary forms of iron ore are hematite and magnetite. Well, at least for blast furnace purposes. In Australia, we have mainly hematite, which causes some problems because in Europe, they're experimenting a lot with DRI, hydrogen DRI, direct reduction via hydrogen, to make sponge iron as an alternative feed for blast furnaces, which is great, you know, because in theory you can do it with green energy. The problem is that in places like Norway, where they're trying it, they have lots of magnetite, which is really good for it. We have lots of hematite, and hematite is really bad for, well, it's not really bad, it is less good for DRI. Which is the reason why we mainly use blast furnaces. I think there's an arc furnace out at fucking, where is it? I remember it eventually. I think there's an arc furnace project at the moment where they're building one, but it's apparently over time and over budget and going nowhere. Remember where it is very... yes and no, Mike. Damascus, like many other, like again, ancient steels. Also, well, Damascus is one of those funny things. Also, thank you for the lure, Caddy. We appreciate you visiting. Yeah, so Damascus is a weird term because Damascus really is just any kind of laminated steel. And I know people go, oh, but Damascus steel was special. Not really. Wootz arguably was. Wootz is also just a layered, it's a laminated steel. People argue that Wootz was special because it has certain things that make it distinct. But people have argued that that's really more just to do with the actual particular materials as opposed to any qualities it has, like the, you know, a particular type of ore. He was disemboweled by a bandit. But yeah, the thing is, like, there was knowledge of how to make laminated steel, but it wasn't scientific knowledge. It was kind of like, okay, we know if we do these things and mix things together, we can produce a product. But there was no knowledge of, I guess you could say, the scientific relationships there. When you have a scientific metallurgical process, you can be like, cool, I know that if I do this and do that, it gives me this, but I also know that if I adjust this, it adjusts these properties. Like, we understand much better the relationship between carbon and alloying elements and things like that. Versus back then when it was kind of like, you need it to go this color, and it means it's good. Because back then a lot of the steel making was very much fuck around and find out. It was like, make it, see if it comes out good or not. Whereas modern steel is one of those things where we're kind of like, we know that if we want certain desirable characteristics, we can do things to induce those characteristics. There are still some things that are a mystery though. And again, a lot of the weirder alloys are ones where we kind of have to fuck around and find out. A great example is Hadfeld steel. Hadfeld steel is also known as high manganese steel. So you add manganese as an anti-sulfur agent, it purifies sulfur. I think it's once you get over, I think 9% manganese, that's when it starts getting weird. They discovered this in the early 1900s, where by a guy named Hadfield, you keep adding manganese nuts. Is it select the focus hearing? Yeah, but basically you keep adding more manganese to it, and suddenly the properties change. And so, for instance, normally steel becomes forgeable at white heat, more or less. So 1500s when it melts, it becomes forgeable usually at, I think, off the top of my head, 1200 to 1300. High manganese steel is forgeable at much lower temperatures. It's forgeable at a yellow heat. It has a whole bunch of different properties in the sense that it is very impact resistant, very abrasion resistant, which means it's really, once it's cold, it's really fucking hard to work cold. But the upside is it's really durable, so it's great for certain things like chisels and stuff. Because it has such a low working temperature, it's a bastard to use for other things. We hate using it in the furnaces at work because of the fact that if you get it too hot, it melts, which means that if we have it too hot in the plate furnace, it will melt and weld onto the skids, which is a bastard to get out. Yeah, so it was one of those things where, like, it was really unknown about until, and again, it was a kind of a surprise when they discovered it, when they were like, if you just put more manganese up, suddenly the properties of this changes radically. But that's one of those things where, again, if they discovered that back in the 12th century, they would have been like, oh wow, it does this different thing. But they wouldn't have been able to figure it out, I guess you could say scientifically, in the sense of they wouldn't have been able to figure out what properties are desirable from it and how to induce that. Ah, yes. For what avatar? Like, I'm assuming woodworking chisels or something? Chisel these nuts. Assassinate this man. Assassinate this man. Yeah, it's a shame. My grandfather was a carpenter by trade. And yeah, it's unfortunate, like, when he passed away, we didn't really keep a lot of the... Well, actually, I think he'd already given them away, though. I'm pretty sure we gave his good woodworking chisels. I can't remember. I think he might have given them away before he passed away. But I remember, yeah, we didn't get to keep all of his good woodworking chisels and stuff. We did get to keep my other granddad's his spirit level. He had a very nice spirit level from the UK, actually. It's like a Cellars of London or something, like quite a well-made instrumentation company. This guy has a spiky shield. I'm wondering if this means I can't assassinate him. No, didn't stop me from assassinating him. Dong, dong, dong. Where's the artifact? Give me the artifact. Ah, yeah. That's the good stuff there, Avatar. I didn't get any tools. I got my, both my grandfather's rock collections. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but they both had rock collections. So I've got some nice dendrites and, like, little fossilized fish and stuff like that. And some, like, nice quartz and stuff. I also have a coin collection. I don't know if it's worth much. I should probably get that looked at some point, because I'm not that sentimental about the coin collection. There are some things I'm like, I will never get rid of, but the coins is one of those things where I'm like... Oh. Well, what the? Give me the thing. There we are, the records. The record of ancient ways. Focused listening, very good. That's the problem with a lot of, like, history things in my family, though, is I've never really gotten time to actually properly engage with it. It's not Tucker. It is a man with a hat. A hat man. Furious George. Whoop. It's not what I meant to do, but oh well.
話は後だ。
行くよ。
I did not mean to smash that.
川まで進むぞ。そこなら安全だ。
Thank you, Straw Hat Man. You can help me by giving me your hat.
かつてはな、あそこも飯に困ってきたから抜けてきたんだ。
志村殿が捕まり、お助けするにも人手が足りぬ。手伝ってくれ。
無理だ。だが、菅笠衆に聞いてみろ。筒の氷で猛虎を襲ってる。
Straw Hat Ronin.
四平原の近くの海岸だ。
I heard it's like, you looking for work? This dude's like, fuck no. I'm getting the hell out of here. You!
弟を探してる。タカという刀鍛冶。
覚えはない。
It's kind of like any RPG though, like picking up random shit. Like I'm running along talking to these guys, just grabbing trees and chopping them down as we go.
捕虜が移されたって言ったね。どこだ？
アザモウラがどうとか。
Azamo Bay.
そういえば、鍛冶屋の男を見た。若くてヒゲの生えた。槍川の出だったはずだ。
嘘じゃないだろうね。
Hell yeah, baby, right.
見つかるといいな。
タカがアザモ裏で生きてる。
壁で囲まれた村か。策もなく乗り込めば返り討ちに遭うだろ
友人が手を貸してくれるかもしれない。
う。よかろう。
Friend.
まずはタカを救い、それから叔父上だ。
Friend! Football friend! Jin.
タカならどんな道具だってすぐに作ってくれる。でもその後、二人で島を出たい。
猛虎のことならば案ずるな。叔父上が止めてくださる。とどまり、故郷のため戦え。
故郷は私とタカがいるところさ。友人はアザモの氷にいる。
Hmm.
ツツとの境だ。
そこで落ち合おう。
楽じゃなかっただろ
What's the next quest?
う。教えに背くこと。
なすべきをなしたまで。
そっか。
See, realistically, that's closer to the samurai code of basically doing what you have to. The idea of Bushido didn't actually come around until, like, in the Meiji Restoration. It was usually, like, more modern Japanese historians looking back on history with a somewhat nationalistic bent. Also, I really like that orange.
己のざれ言は聞かん。殺せ。
全てを失ったつもりのようだが、おいはまだ生きておるぞ。
ジン。
我が勢が道を塞ぎ、村々の近くには野営を敷いた。全てを掌握している。おいもじき見つかろう。
堺は一生懸命に戦うはずだ。わしもな。
大事か。対馬の民はどうだ。お主は父も同然。我が子を見捨てるのはつらかろう。
己のしもべにはさせんぞ。
Based. Just chilling by the river. Oop, bloop. Break your code to help a new friend. Legend. What do I want to spend my technique points on? That's a good question. Journal. Ah, cool. So side quests. Weapons and ammo. Okay. Techniques. What do I deflection? I don't really like deflection that much. Kunai. Standoff. Standoff streak. Yeah, that one's kind of tempting because I like that. That one's archery. Safe landing. Far hearing. Iron will. Oh, actually, I think I'm going to learn that one because that's really useful. And I'm going to learn that one. Excellent. I am a samurai. Okay. Now, I said earlier that we're probably going to have to call it here because I'm being a responsible good boy because I have lots of work to do this week. So, let's go and see if we can find someone to raid Arena. But we may play some Ghost of Tsushima tomorrow. I don't know. I'm tossing up between, yeah, I know Avatar, it sucks huge dick, but unfortunately, I got a bunch of work to do this week. It's all due Wednesday. Basically Wednesday, we've got to swap out a bunch of gear. We got to do a bunch of install work and other shit. And it's one of those things where it's really like, I wouldn't say it's a big deal, but it's one of those things where they were like, oh, we want this done by the end of the month. And it's one of those things where if I can get this done, it'll kind of look good for me, especially considering that, like, I'm kind of in the process of getting my contract renewed. So, yeah, it's one of those things where I just got to get it done and get it going good. In fact, we will not run the ad. We will snooze the ad. Fuck off ad. And we'll go raid Noodle. We'll go read the box of noodles. That's Noof. Actually, before I send this to raid Noodle, we do also, no problem, we also do have the raid, not Raddy. Raid. We have the raid message made entirely of non-subscriber emotes. It's made of free emotes that anyone can use. So let me Raddy. Where are we? Noodle. We'll go raid the Noodle box. Who is playing EDF 6. But we will be back tomorrow. So anyway, I'm gonna send you over there. Yeah, I hope you've had a good time playing the Ghost of Tsushima and watching me be kind of shit. I've slowly figured things out. But we live, we learn. So I'm gonna send you over to hang out with Noodle, and we'll be back tomorrow. Okay? Bye.
5 more.